Hey guys, GoForce Online here to bring you another one of my trash builds. Now this is my Magblade PvP glass cannon. So pretty much just dealing as much damage as possible, as quickly as possible, and hopefully the enemy dies before they can deal some damage to you, because it's not very durable, but just maximum damage output. So let's take a look. So sitting about 23k health. Once I enter PvP zone, they'll probably go up by another 5,000, so it's about 28k. Not a lot of health to work with because I don't have a lot of defensive abilities, so be careful how you use it. I've got 35k max Magika there. My spell damage at the moment is sitting on 2700. It does go up to about 5.5 during combat, so there's a lot of skills that I activate that increase that spell damage there. Using the apprentice, so it increases my spell damage, and using max health, max Magika food. I'm a vampire, I'm running at stage 4. You can do this at about stage 2 as well. It's not as critical, but stage 4 has a really cool effect that I like. So when you're sprinting for more than 6 seconds, you turn invisible, and with the skills I have equipped, I also run faster as well. So running invisible actually runs faster than I normally would. Now looking at my item sets, using the Dominus monster set. So when I deal damage, I create a circle of flame, or basically dealing physical or flame damage, and it also increases my weapon damage by 300, so weapon and spell damage. So take a look, just pick a target there. So once I deal that damage, it creates the circle of fire here. As long as I'm standing within the circle, it increases my weapon and spell damage by 300. And also if an enemy is standing in this area, that they take some damage as well. And second one I'm using here, of course, for a glass cannon, you have to use the Clever Alchemist. So it increases my weapon and spell damage by 675 for 20 seconds if I use a potion during combat. Now if you're outside of combat and you use it, you won't get the effect. Just an FYI, I'm using a consumables here, potions, so it increases my spell damage by 20%, my spell critical, and restores some magicka as well. Anyway, so during combat, it will increase it by another 675. And then the last set I'm using here is Scathing Mage. So when I deal direct damage, I have a 20% chance to increase my spell damage by 516 for 5 seconds, and this can occur once every 5 seconds as well. So if this procs during your assault, it increases your spell damage there as well, so it makes it really, really powerful. Now let's take a look at these skills. So front one I have here, first one is Concealed Weapon. So it deals 10k magicka damage there, and also if you're attacked while from the flanks, you stun the enemy for 3 seconds and set them off balance. So while slotted, your movement speed while sneaking or invisible is increased by 25%. So just to show you guys, so using the sprint, as soon as you turn invisible, you start running faster. So very nice skill to have on the front bar there. The second one I have here is Stupefy from the Vampire skill line. So it stuns the enemies in front of me and also reduces their movement speed by 53% once they've broken free. So this is just as soon as you activate your gap close and activating that stun, so you can do your damage and give yourself some breathing room without you receiving damage for that small amount of time from enemies in the area. There's also another stun that you can use in the class skills for the Nightblade. I just like the Stupefy from Vampire better. Then next is Shadowy Disguise. So this is what makes the build pretty much. So you turn invisible for 3 seconds, and your next direct damage attack used within 3 seconds will also be a critical, always be a critical strike. So pretty much you'll be using stealth most of the time. So just using that invisible, sneaking around, do what you need to do, and then choosing your time to attack. Then we have Lotus Fan, so this is my gap closer. So dealing 5k magic damage there, and also deals some AoE damage. Not as important, but you also apply minor vulnerability, which increases the damage taken by the enemy by 5%. So pretty much this is just your gap closer, so long range, coming in close and then do the damage you need to do. And then as soon as you activate that skill, you've got the fire ring happening around you as well. And then the last skill on the front bar here is Proximity Detonation. This is a bit of a flex spot. I like having it here because I do like the bomber build. So this won't be as effective as the traditional bomber build, but it is there if you want to use it. So activating this skill, after 8 seconds it explodes, dealing about 7k magic damage, and for every enemy in the area it increases it by 25%. So if you have a bunch of enemies stacked up on one spot, activating this, so activating it, just staying your stealth, and just before it's about to go, activate your gap closer, and then boom. That's pretty much it for that one. And then the ultimate is Soul Harvest, so I deal 15k magic damage there, and also increases the damage against them for 20% for 6 seconds. So if this ultimate doesn't finish off your enemy player, whatever attacks afterwards definitely do that. It also affects them with Major Defile, reducing their healing received and health recovery by 16%. So pretty much once this is activated, they can't activate their heals, or their heals will be very much reduced, so you can finish them off that way. And while you have this slotted, every time you kill an enemy you gain 10 ultimate, so just a bit of an extra bonus there as well. And now on the back bar, I'm using the meditation, or using this morph of meditation from the Sigil Order skill. Now the reason for that is I don't have any health recovery because I'm a stage 4 vampire. So you see I'm sitting at 96, no recovery there. If I drop my health down, so then get some healing there, but I'm not gaining any more from that. So if you are taking, or if you have taken a lot of damage from the fight and you walk away after victory, you do need to have a heal just to get your health back up again to 100%. Alright, the second one here is Impale, so it deals about 5k magic damage there and 300% more damage to enemies below 25% health. So let's say you've got an enemy that you've damaged significantly, they're trying to run away, activating this skill will do about 15k magic damage, so a lot of damage they'll be taking there, so definitely wipes them out. The next one I have here is Siphoning Attack. So just activating the skill once in a while before combat, definitely not used during combat. So every light attack I restore some resources there, and once the skill has finished, so after that 20 seconds, I gain 4,200 additional Magika. So just a bit of resource management there, so activating the skill during combat and then gaining your resources back ready for your next attack. Then the next one I have here is Charging Maneuver. So this is just a simple speed increase while you're on your mount. If you're not using a mount, don't use the skill, it doesn't add up to the buff. So activating this skill and then sprinting with this equipped as well, it won't increase that speed because they have a speed cap now. And also lastly is Sated Fury from the Vampire skill. So pretty much won't use this for anything other than the detonation. I won't really use this between setting up an attack or anything like that. It's just way too risky because you're losing a lot of health and then you don't get it back by any recovery and there's no healing. But if you're going to self-destruct, activating this skill, waiting a timeout, and then proximity detonation will take care of it. And the last one here is Shooting Star. So this is the ultimate from the Major Skill. So basically it drops a meteor that deals 16k flame damage, and also enemies in the area take 4k flame damage every 1 second for 13 seconds. And also generate 12 ultimate for each enemy hit by this blast. So this is a very specific skill, so if you have enemies, players bundled up on one spot in Cyrodiil, say around flag or trying to take a resource, and dropping this ultimate down deals a lot of damage, also deals damage in that area, so if they stay in that area to try and capture that flag, they take damage, and also you get some ultimate back and hopefully you're able to cast it again. So flex spot, you can put something else in there. I just like having it there on my Magika PvP builds. Anyway, so pretty much during combat, you have to stay in your sneak. Oh, another thing to note as well is once you come out of invisibility, the vampire passive increases your weapon and spell damage there as well. So looking now at 2768, once you use my invisibility, so just coming out of invisibility, I increased by 300 there. So anyway, sneaking around, doing your thing, finding a target, activating that detonation there. So if you are in sneak and you activate this, go back to sneak, work with me. So activate, you can get detected if enemies are close enough to you, but you won't leave sneak by activating that skill. And then use your gap closer as soon as detonation hits, and then if anything remains, just use that skill. Also pacify or stun the enemies during it. So pretty much rotation would be staying in sneak, activating your detonation. Just hear that sound. Once you're ready to go, hit, get your potion, and then have it there. So then sitting at about 5k spell damage there, so a lot of damage that can be done to a single target. Anyway, thanks for listening guys. If you like the content I'm putting out, please hit that like and subscribe. If you have any ideas for builds that I need to do in the future, please let me know in the comments down below. Take care and be safe. Bye.